Excelsior. Good afternoon, everyone, to the judges and all the participants here today. Welcome to today's live round for our speech competition on this year Excelsior. First thing first, thank you for taking your time to come here today.
Before we start our live round today, we would like to say congratulations for all the participants who have passed the preliminary round. We're so proud and thankful for the enthusiasm and perseverance you all have given on the past round. Just be relaxed and enjoy the final round so you wouldn't be nervous when you deliver your speech later.
So before we start our activity today, I'm going to ask our observer, Sir Ramses, to lead us in prayer.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, judges, participants, and everybody join this meeting. Before we start things today, especially for this competition, let us invite the Lord to lead this activity. Let us pray, and I lead the prayer in Christian, and those who have different faith, you can pray in your way. Let us pray. Dear Jesus, Lord, we are very grateful for the chance that you give us today. And we join in this Zoom to give and perform our best in competition of speech. Lord, we invite you to give us strength, especially for all participants. Give good connection and give them ability to perform their best. And all they can perform today just to glorify your name. And also give wisdom to the judges so they can give the best for each of the participants' performance. Here we are, Lord. We are ready to start. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we have prayed. Amen. Okay, Danny and Michelle.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ramses, for the prayer that you have given us today. Before we start, we know the participants haven't been introduced to the judges that been scoring your speech scores. Today I'm going to introduce to both of them. First thing first is Miss G, and the second person is Miss Rita. Give applause to them for scoring this speech competition for today. Give some emotes to them to celebrate them. So, Michelle, we probably the judges and the audience in our YouTube, by the way, this is live stream on YouTube, have not, can't wait to see you guys' performance for these 10 amazing participants.
You're right. Besides, I want to inform you all that the junior high school participants will deliver their speeches first. So to all the top 5 outstanding orators, please prepare yourself. Don't be nervous, be confident, believe yourself a word to get through this, and let God do the rest.
Okay, so I'm going to inform you the order of where you're going to perform. This is not in a particular order. This is randomized before the speech event started. So I'm going to say the names. The first performer is going to be Obama Taris Naibaho from Penabur Depok. This is junior high, first one. And then Novena Blessing from Tunas Bangsa Chakpo, if I'm correct. Then the next one is Devina Quadran from SMP Pelita Kasih. The next one is Miracuela Mayala Stefania, which is from Strada Bakti Bekasi. And the final one is Deona Kira Lembong from Penabur, the first, Penabur 1, SMK Penabur 1. Yeah, this is going to be the people that's going to give their speeches today. So let's start from the first one. in not particular order, Obama Putra Laris Naibaho from Penangpur Depok, please step in and deliver your speech.
I'm sorry, let me just do some stuff. Do you hear my voice?
Yes, it's loud and clear.
Clear.
Let's spread this. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Obama Putra Larsnibaho. Thank you for the judges for letting me have this chance to be in the finals. So today I will be delivering a speech about finding our true self. So without even realizing it, you might be not who you are. You might be, well, your fake self, or what I like to call as having a fake personality mask. So what is this personality mask I'm talking about? It's a mask that you use to meet other people about reputation. In modern society, we often have to live up to people's expectations, and those expectations can sometimes be impossible for someone. Now, people will also insult you like, why can't you do that? Hey, you're supposed to do this. Why can't you do that? Why are you so bad? Why are you so, let's say, why are you so ugly? Why are you so dumb? Why are you so short? Why are you so, there's a lot of stuff that we get from friends, sometimes family. And those insults, mocking, can make us very sad and down. And because of that, we make a coping system that makes us obey them, that lets people take control of us. For example, if I meet my friends, my toxic friends, I meet them with my happy, cheerful personality. But deep inside, you know that you are actually sad. You are you're angry at them because they've been mocking you, they've been insulting you, and they've been bullying you. Why do we care so much about our reputation? Why? Because we don't value ourselves as much. We don't know what is our worth. We have a lot of worth. We have a high value. We just don't know we have it. That's why we need an audience. We need people that accepts us. We ask people, how much do we deserve? How much is our worth? How much is our value? That's why today you might see some influencers getting canceled because they ask people how much is their worth. Okay. So how do you find your true self? First, you have to be calm and just remove all your thoughts. And then just think about the things you like, the things you hate, the things you dislike, the friends, the good friends you have, and the bad friends you have. Just think about that and just relax. Then you can start leaving your toxic friends and meeting the new and better friends you have. And then we have to start also expressing our true feelings to people. Let's say I'm meeting my friends again. Express your true feelings. I'm feeling down lately. My grades have been currently bad and it's making me feel sad. And use your true personality because your personality is your character. When people see you, they don't see you like, oh, that man is handsome. Oh, that girl is pretty. No, they see your personality. If you have a high attitude, then well, people will dislike you. Well, just be yourself. Don't let people have control over you. Be who you are. Be who you want to be. The thing about personality, we often know as personality, is often just a jumble of coping styles that we learned from childhood. Because when we are a child, we know that we can express our feelings a lot. Like when we meet people that disrespect us, we can be angry. When people hurt us, we can be aggressive. But sometimes bad parenting makes us have personality masks like, eh, it's only that, eh, get up, you're a boy, you can get up, you have to be tough. Yeah, that makes fake personality masks that we don't want. And sometimes having fake personality masks makes us sad, depressed. And I'm sorry, but people sometimes when they're depressed, they commit suicide, and we don't want that. And get a therapist that listens to you. You can express your feelings, what you feel about the world, what you feel about your friends. Then they might give you words of motivation. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening to my speech. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you for the speech that you have given us today, Obama. Thank you very much for the speech. Is any of the judges have any comments on the speech itself, or okay, no comment? Okay, thank you for the speech itself. Now we're going to move on to the second participants for today. That is Novena Blessing from Tunas Bangsa. Tunas Bangsa. Please step up to the podium and deliver your speech. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Novena Blessing. I'm from the 8th grade of SMPK Tunas Bangsa Chaco, and I'm here to talk about losing your identity and how to find yourself again. You may wake up one day and find that you don't recognize yourself. It's like you look into the mirror and it's like you're looking at an entirely different person. Or sometimes it happens gradually. You can feel yourself growing distant from who you really are. You may find yourself losing interest in the things you used to love, or you may find yourself utilizing other interests. You may feel more fearless than ever before, or maybe all you want to do is hide away until these feelings pass. It's like you're here, but you're not really here. It's almost as if your body decided to back up and move on, but no one told your mind yet. You've lost a sense of your identity. Now, you may be asking, what is identity anyways? What defines identity? You see, identity is who you are. How you think about yourself, how you're viewed by the world, your characteristics. It's basically just your name, your physical attributes, your personality traits, your aspirations in life. Those are what define you. And you see, finding yourself, it's hard. Losing yourself is hard, and so is finding yourself. And to make it worse, there's this stigma going around society where the journey in finding yourself lays among the timeline of life, which means that you can't find yourself at any useful age, and you shouldn't try to find yourself amongst adulthood. But I think that's wrong. I think that we are constantly trying to find ourselves, and we're constantly trying to find out who we want to be based on the present. Of course, and people also tend to think that we should also have our lives figured out, and we should know who we are at a certain point in life. But I think that's wrong too, because I think that we need to make mistakes. We need to have those moments where we lose ourselves, and not just once, but frequently. First, we should be aware of our surroundings. The people who we surround ourselves with, they have an impact on our life, and they create who we are as a person. If we surround ourselves with positive people, then we'll become more positive as well. Their attitude will rub off on us, and we'll become more cheerful and buoyant. On the other hand, if we surround ourselves with people who are negative and have a bad lifestyle, then some of their attitudes or some of their habits, they might rub off on us, and we become more negative as well. You see, not everyone you meet in your life is going to be a perfect fit in your puzzle. They're not going to have the right key to our door. But of course, we'll also meet people who actually fit our puzzle, and they'll be the one for us. But then again, things may also change, which is why we shouldn't force what is and isn't meant to be. Just let things fall into place. Second, take the risk. Whatever you've always wanted to do, all those places you've always wanted to visit, all the foods you've always wanted to try and eat, maybe the people you've always wanted to talk to, go ahead and take the risk. Do it and don't look back. I mean, yeah, doing things the way you've always done them for, that is great. And staying in your comfort zone, it's fine. You can do that because it's more comfortable. But trust me, some of the best experiences in life come from outside of that zone. Taking risks may be scary, but they help you find yourself. And they help you learn more things about yourself. And lastly, be grateful. Be grateful for everything you've been through. You see, sometimes we're just so focused on certain goals in our life that we sort of lose a sense of who we are and why we're here. If we yearn for something that isn't within our reach, then we're wasting our time. So give yourself some time to be grateful for everything that you've been through, all the people you've met, all the experiences you've gained, all the things you've learned, because all of those things, they are what shape and define you as a person. Finding yourself isn't what's most important, but what's most important is the journey in creating yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Novena, for the speech that you have given us today. That's a really good speech. I hear the emotionality behind it. And yeah, either the judges have anything to say for Novena here? Okay, no response. For the next participant, it's going to be wait, Defina Quadrant from SMP Takasi. Please come forward and please deliver your speech. Thank you.
I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm not good enough. When I was a little kid, I didn't used to think about my appearance. All I knew was just playing around and hanging along with each other. But as I reached the point of adolescence, I learned to be insecure. Whenever I hung out with my friends, I was afraid that people would see me as the ugly one. So I decided to distance myself from my friends, and in that way, I won't get compared to them. That is the beginning of my insecurities. Insecurity can arise from our family, school, society, and especially social media. One of the most determining aspects of someone's mental health condition is their family. If the family raises their children by putting them on a pedestal and comparing them to the ideal, the child will grow with low self-esteem and may be stressed out. When I was in 6th grade, I told my mom I got selected at school, and she immediately said, "Why can't you be the best?" Starting on that day, I studied so hard and competed with my best friend. I've always dreamt of beating her and considered her as a rival. I was so stressed out until one day my dad told me, "Don't see your rival as an enemy, but try to compete with yourself, with your own potential." Since then, I studied with a different mindset. And in the end, I didn't beat her. But I was satisfied with my test results because I felt that I gave my best and received the best. Jump onto my appearance, I was also not confident about my skin tone. Whenever my friends and I compared each other's arms, mine was the darkest. I've always thought that this was unfortunate as I come from a Chinese family and they usually have lighter skin tones. I remembered how obsessed I was to brighten my skin. I wasted so much money on brightening skin products just to follow Indonesian beauty standards. And as time passed by, I realized that this is me. I'm who I am, and I don't need to have brighter skin to look pretty. When I started using social media and knowing the outside world, I just knew that some countries, like Australia and America, wanted tan skin, and I had what they want. Since then, I'm grateful for my skin color. Talking about social media, we all know we can't live without it, especially during the pandemic. We spend more and more time with our cell phones looking at pictures of celebrities, friends, or even cousins. We often look at a picture for a couple minutes, staring at something she may have, but we don't. Damn, look at her flawless skin. I wish I had it. I want a body like that so I can look good in any clothes I wear. She has beautiful brown eyes like I always wanted. We keep thinking about it until it interferes with our health. We don't eat because we want to look like her. We use all kinds of skincare without knowing the ingredients, and it ends up making our face even worse. And even when we feel beautiful, we still think hundreds of times to post our photos. In our minds, we couldn't be as good as her. What if no one compliments me? What if I only get a few Instagram likes? Why do you need to be concerned about that? It's your page. You can post anything on it. As long as it's positive and doesn't harm others, why not? You don't need validation from other people because everyone is beautiful in their own ways. There's nothing wrong with you, and you're perfect just the way you are. When we reach the point of adolescence, we form a habit of comparing ourselves to other people. Oh my gosh, my friend has the latest iPhone, and I only have the old version. His mom gave him a suit by a famous designer. Teenagers will impose our desires on our parents. We expect them to get what we want without knowing how hard they work for convenience. Some of us do this because we don't want to be underestimated by others. We buy expensive things just to be noticed and accepted by our surroundings. If your parents can afford it, then it's good, accept it. But if they can't, don't burn them. Besides, we don't need people who can't accept our true selves. The feeling of insecurity is surely understandable at times. Even I still feel insecure sometimes. But we shouldn't be held captivated by this negativity. Every human deserves appreciation and love. Instead of feeling devastated and blaming ourselves, we should focus on increasing our capabilities and understanding our value. Don't let other people's views affect you negatively, but filter the positive comments that help you grow. And the most important point in understanding yourself is your own mindset, how you view your capabilities and problems. Encourage yourself and change your mindset with a good one. If you have bad grades, don't think, I'm stupid. Change it. I have to study harder. If you always tell yourself that you're fat and ugly, change your way of thinking. I don't care how others look at me. I think I'm perfect, and that's enough. If you haven't done what I said before, start doing it today. That way, we can embrace and accept ourselves as who we are. I'm Devina Kodran from SMP Methodist Pelita Kasih. Thank you.
Wow, Devina, you deliver your speech really well. Okay, so the next participant will be Miraquela from Strada. Please welcome Miraquela.
Good afternoon, everyone. With all the respect, judges, teachers, and my dear friends, I thank God for this opportunity, and it's such an honor for me to be here. Before delivering my speech, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Miraquela Mayala. I'm 15 years old, and I'm from Strada Bactiviata Junior High School. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, a lot of people are yet to be aware about their true selves. They don't see anything good or precious in themselves and wondering if they even have just one gift. At some point in life, maybe you'll get the question, what are you good at? Or what is your skill? It's actually a common question, but for those who don't have an immediate answer, it can cause distress. And they come to the conclusion that they're not good at anything. But I believe that everyone is blessed with a gift, and it is our job to discover it. Do you know that you were born into this world with basic gifts that are very unique? You are one of a kind. A gift is an ability that exists inside someone, and that ability can be used to learn something quickly and with great result. For instance, everyone can learn how to sing by taking lessons, but not everyone can sing like Michael Jackson because his voice was a gift. Everyone is gifted, but not everyone has realized what their gifts are. So, how do I find out my gift? Sometimes, when we hear the term gift, we instantly think of someone who can sing or someone athletic. So, the first is you must look at gifts in a broader way. Even being able to solve problems is included as gifted. Also, you can try new things and explore yourself deeper. You can't just sit around and wait for your gift to appear by itself. How can you know that you're gifted at cooking if you never tried to cook? You can also write down things that you like to do. Your gift can come from your passion. So, think about things that you love to do. Your gift is what you do the best with the least amount of effort. When we say someone is gifted, we often assume that because they have a gift, then they never have to work on their gift. Even though you have already figured out your gift, you still need to work to prepare that gift. Your gift requires practice. That's why you have to develop them. Your gift must be improved by practicing and learning to reach its full potential. You have to build yourself. You may have gift or talent, but if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Can you imagine having a gift of speaking and just leaving it on the shelf, not growing it? The gift of speaking still means that you have to put hard work into it. How cool is it if you could actually be a journalist or a broadcaster and many more? Your gift can take you to many places, places that will literally amaze you if you develop them. Ladies and gentlemen, your talent is God's gift to you. All you have to do is to give your gift back to God. So you have to use it wisely. Our gifts and talents are purposely created not only for ourselves, but also to help people around. Other people's life may change because of our talent. And last thing, always remember that each and every single one of us is special. We are all unique in our own way, and we must appreciate other people's talent. Don't always try to compete or compare ourselves with others. We are supposed to help one another to grow because it's our differences that make us unique and define just how special we are as a human. So, from now on, let's appreciate ourselves and see how valuable we are. Just like I stated previously, don't always try to compare yourself with others. You have to start to see the strengths that you have in yourself. Self appreciation is necessary because it encourages you to move on in life. Always be grateful for what God has given to you in your life. And just like Oprah Winfrey said, be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. That's the end of my speech for today. I genuinely hope that my speech can be useful to you in one way or another, and you can get something out of it. Thank you for your time and undivided attention. I wish nothing but good luck to each and every single one of you. Farewell.
Okay, Miracuela, thank you very much. You delivered your speech very well. I was really touched by your speech. And now we will be moving on to Diona from SMPK Penabur 1. Please welcome Diona.
The Lost Reflection in Search of the True Self. Hello, everyone. Before I start, please let me introduce myself first. My name is Deona Kira, and today I will talk about finding or searching about our true self. Have you found your true self? Socrates once said, to find your true self, think for yourself. Getting yourself may seem like an inherently self-centered purpose, but it is really something that we must do for the sake of ourselves. In order to remain the best version of ourselves, we get to firstly recognize who we are, what we value, in effect, what we have to offer. It is a journey that includes a low and high moment for sure. It is not an easy job finding ourselves. So first, let's talk about true self. Self alone as a word mean what you really like as a person. True alone as a word mean it is based on facts rather than being invented or imagined and as accurate and reliable. So, what is true self? True self is what you are beyond definition, words, and concepts. True self is our original self. People find their true self in a lot of different ways. Some find when with family, some when with friend, or even when alone. I think while searching our true self, we must love ourselves first. Do you love yourself? Some people find it easy to love themselves, but some people find it hard to love themselves. Love ourselves is about acceptance. We accept who we really are, we love what we really am. I think the moment we love ourselves makes us get to know better about ourselves and make it easier in searching our true self. While searching our true self, we must know what's good for ourselves and what's bad for ourselves. When we already know what's good for ourselves, we should try to bring them to us and keep the bad things away from us. Find good things mean things that makes us happy, makes us feel better when we were sad or down. Like example, friends, food, family, doing hobby that we like, and many, many more. I am 100% sure that everyone finds it in every different way. Bad things are completely the opposite. Bad things are things that made us feel down and sad. Sometimes we don't realize what's really good for us and what's bad for us because bad things could sometimes even makes us feel good and satisfied too. But it would definitely feel so much better when you know what's really good for you. Move on. Now I'm going to talk about something that I personally really like to do. Do you ever heard or know about me time? Me time is spending time on yourself, doing what you want to do by yourself, and taking a break from anything around us. People do it a lot for relaxing, and some people use it for finding true self too. Personally, I think this is one of the best way in searching our true self. When when we do me time, we do it by ourselves. We do it without thoughts and critics and suggestions by other. I think that moment can give a really big impact to ourselves. We could finally really open up, really being free or being truthful to our own self. Like example of me time are reading books or go to the place that you like by yourself or even exercise by yourself, you know. People could find their true self in a lot of different way, and I'm sure that all of it is beautiful on their own way. Finding our true self can be anywhere and anytime. No need to rush, take how long as you need it and find it on the best way you ever wanted. Our true self is the best version of ourselves. Thank you everyone for your attention. I think now is going to be the end of my speech. I really hope you all enjoy. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you, Diona. For the judges, any comments for Diona? Oh, okay. So, Diona, you deliver your speech in a different way among all the other participants. But you were very calm, but I was truly touched by your speech. Thank you very much for your performance.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So we're already ending our junior high. That's quite fast. It's faster than I imagined it would be. So all of them truly delivered their speech really well. And Michelle, do you have any words for them today?
They were so amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Good job all of you. That give your bravery for coming here today for the junior high students. You did really well, and really you guys did really amazing. So before we're going to get into the senior high students that are going to give their speech today, we're going to have like a 5-minute break to give intervals between the junior high and the senior high students. So please, if you want to take a drink or go to the toilet, you can go now, so you don't miss your speech, like giving your speech and risking disqualification. So you can guys rest now. Thank you. It's 5 minutes, okay? Remember that.
Bangkit berdiri serta hilangkan keraguan, bersama kita hadapi dunia. Tunjukkanlah sportivitas, seni dan olahraga, bersama kita di Excelsior. Excelsior. Dan olahraga, bangkit berdiri serta hilangkan keraguan, bersama kita hadapi dunia. Tunjukkanlah sportivitas, seni dan olahraga, bersama kita di Excelsior. Di
Okay, everybody ready? For the senior high school speech participants, please be ready because we're already finished our little time for the break. And now I'm going to tell you guys the numbers that you guys get to give your speech at. Okay, for the first person that's going to be giving their speech in front is going to be Sharon Aurelia. From Sharon is from SMAC to Penabur. The second one is from Garifal Tedian from SMAC 5 Penabur. Next one is going to be Amanda from SMAC Sinjon HI. Next one is Greta Jen.
Okay, so the next will be Greta Janiska Kristianto Kartadinata, and the last will be Tabitha Anya. So for Sharon, you can go first. Yeah, please welcome Sharon.
Your job is not to be anything like others. In fact, your job is to be as unlike them as you can possibly be. Your only job while you're here on this planet is to be as good at being you as they are at being them. That's the deal. Have any of you ever heard about these words? It is indeed the word of Caroline Matthew. She's a writer of a book entitled Never Not a Lovely Moon, The Art of Being Yourself. I must say that I agree very much on what Caroline has said. It is indeed very important to embrace and be ourselves rather than be like others. Though we can't deny, in order to be ourselves, we must first find ourselves. The question is, how do we find ourselves? To the honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, good afternoon. How are you today? I hope we all doing just fine. My name is Sharon Aurelia, and I'm a representative from SMAC 2 Penabur, Jakarta. In this amazing day, let's we all thank God for His blessing so that we all can still be here right on this place. I would also love to thank all the judges and the school committee for making this event happen. Now, I'd say the process of discovering ourselves, discovering who we really are, is a huge part of our life. We often forget to cherish the value that is within us. In some cases, we doesn't even know that we have that precious value deep in ourselves. And because of that, we might lose ourselves entirely. Those situations could happen easily when we don't appreciate ourselves. As we all know, we teenagers are in a certain period of time where we are incessantly searching for our identity, or we crave to find who we really are. Discovering and knowing who we truly are could establish our sense of self-worth, beliefs, and confidence. It could also help us understanding our potential, accepting the fact of what we can and cannot do. Well, in order to find our true self, first, we need to lose ourselves. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. It doesn't make any sense, right? Though as irrational as it may sound, it is undeniably true. Think about it. If it was never lost in the first place, then what do we try to find? Secondly, we have to be ambitious and willing to accept failures. In every aspect of our life, if we want something for it to succeed, then we must be willing to work hard for it, even if we fail. Now, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that we are the boss of ourselves. We are the only one that's capable of controlling our life. And by that have been said, we must be open to failure. Don't ever let that failure stop us from achieving our goals. Even Edison failed 1,000 times before to create a lamp that impacts the whole world. Failure is a part of the journey. Learn from the mistakes and keep on trying until we reached it. Now, please underline that. Next up is to let our feelings flow and trust ourselves. If we really want to know ourselves, we should embrace ourselves. Learn to trust our intuition. Let it guide us to the darkness of maze in our mind that we have never been before. Our emotion can tell us a lot about our situation. It could also help us to grow. So sometimes listening to our heart's not really a bad option. The fourth thing to do is willing to try new things and step out of our comfort zone. For sure, we as humans live in an environment that will always change according to time. Willing to try new things and stepping out of our comfort zone could really help us in finding ourselves. Here is why. Imagine. Imagine if we always stopped doing the same thing we've been doing our whole entire existence. The routine, the monotony, the repetition. Oh, then when will we discover ourselves? What if the new things that we have never tried before because we're too afraid of are actually the things that are meant for us? Oh, I promise you don't want to lose all that possibility. So, stepping outside our comfort zone, picking out a new path in life, experience something new, are the things that will help us in finding our true self. Well, I'm gonna say this next step is a really important one because I think it's the whole entire thing. Can any of you guess what it is? Well, if you said self acceptance, then congratulations, you are correct. You see, self acceptance itself is an ability to accept all about ourselves, even our flaws. When we accept who we truly are, we create a step forward in finding our true self. By recognizing and accepting both the good and bad things in ourselves, we can grow into a better individual by strengthening the positive things and applying it to reach our goals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, is to ask ourselves questions. Ask ourselves as many questions as we can, such as who am I? What am I doing? What do I desire? How can I improve myself? You see here, when we're asking ourselves these questions, in our subconscious, we are creating a habit that will translate it into a way to help us finding our true self. Because unconsciously, our mind will try to answer it. That is why it could really help us in finding our true self. Now remember that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. We are humans that are created by God who are loving. That is why it's also very important for us to have empathy, solidarity, and appreciation towards ourselves and, of course, others. It's all right to feel lost and empty. Everything lost is meant to be found, and everything empty is meant to be filled anyway. It will happen eventually someday, just when the time is right. I genuinely hope that this speech will help those who need to realize and recognize our worth. That's all, and that's it from me. Thank you for the time and attention. Have a nice day, and God bless you.
Thank you for the speech that Sharon have given us today. It's really interactive and it's the first one that we get. Please give an emote for reaction for Sharon that have given her speech today. Thank you. So the next participants is and the participant who will perform next is going to be Gary Voltadian from SMAC 5 number. Please go down and to step forward to give your speech.
All right, thank you. Honorable judges, respected audience, and everyone here today, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Almighty God for his blessings and guidance so that we all can gather here safely without any major obstacles. Secondly, I'd like to thank my parents and teachers for their endless support towards me. And last but not least, for the judges, thank you for giving me such an amazing opportunity to compete in this competition. Have you ever stopped and thought, what is the purpose of me existing in this world really? Because I do that numerous times. But do I ever get an exact answer to that kind of random thoughts? No, not exactly. I usually just brush it off and let my mind wander about other things. But today, I'm not going to do the same old tradition I've always done. So here I am. I'm Gauri Falthadian, and I want to take you to the journey of searching for a true self. Now, before we begin to dive to searching for our truest forms, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand what a self really is. What defines a self? A self is your identity, a sense of who you really are deep down. The word self itself comes from the Old English meaning one owns person. So it is fully yours. You control your own self. You have the power to create your own version of it. And you also have a full control into how you want to be perceived by the world. Now, in order to develop into the best version of yourself, you have to befriend yourself first. Now you may be wondering, how exactly does that work? How can I be friends with myself? Well, oftentimes people only focus on building themselves on the outside but struggle internally. Even more, you might not know this, but you can also be yourself's enemy. The most common example is being too harsh on yourself because of society's pressure. We get a sense of external validation if people acknowledge our striking points. At our age, beauty is the field where people stress the most about. According to Jamie Zelazny from the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, social comparison has led teenagers into anxiety, depression, and even more can be a cost to their societal behaviors. Peer pressure can also lead you to be untrue to yourself. You joined that cooking class because you have a friend that told you so. You picked that university because you have a friend that persuaded you to go there. You know that wasn't yourself. You didn't really enjoy cooking. You didn't really want to go to that university at the first place because it's too far from your house. Being friends with yourself requires you to reject all the persuasions that aren't beneficial to yourself. Do not let society dictate you. You don't have to live a life that people want. You don't have to be everything that society told you to be. Choose what's best for you. Just like you want your friends to be happy, want that for yourself too. Let yourself be happy, because at the end of the day, it's your life, and it's important for you to live a life according.
Hello, Gorifel. Can you hear me? Okay, maybe her connection
Internet
is unstable
is
right now.
unstable. If the connection is unstable, are you
Hello,
fine?
Gorifel?
Okay, yes.
Would you want to continue now, or would you restart after the end or the end of
After the
you
fifth
became
participant.
the fifth
May
participant?
I ask a question before
Yeah.
that? Will it affect the scoring if I
No, because
No.
it's internet error.
No, yeah,
continue right now?
yeah, it's
Because
fine.
if you want to do it right now, you just need
Okay.
to repeat a bit from
Okay.
before this, and then
Okay,
talk it.
I'll just
Or if you want to repeat all of the speech, you can go to the end of the 5 people that's going to perform. So what decision did you want?
Okay, may I just continue? And can you please tell me where it lagged before? Is it where being
It
friends with?
could you just repeat before like a bit? So thank you.
Thank you.
Please continue.
Okay. Being friends with yourself requires you to reject all the persuasions that aren't beneficial to yourself. Do not let society dictate you. You don't have to live a life that people want. You don't have to be everything that society told you to be. Choose what's best for you. Just like you want yourself to be happy, want that for yourself too. Let yourself be happy. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, and it's important for you to live a life according to your truest self. Not only that, the way you know your essence of life is to continually reflect. As I stated before, do not let society define you. Instead, look at yourself and think about your values, what you can offer to the world or what you want to offer to the world. Look in the mirror and observe what you see. Is that the self that is continually being burdened? Is that the self that you want to be? Or is it all just a product of people's opinion? If you reflect and look deep within yourself, you will see the lost reflection, the one you forget exists, the one that makes you the happiest, your truest self. By practicing these 2 ways, your journey of self-searching will eventually lead you to what matters most, loving yourself. If we love, we forgive easily. Do that to yourself. Maybe you have a lot of work to do, but you're so unable to finish them all. Maybe you participated in a competition, but didn't win. I'm sure many of us will blame ourselves for not taking or trying our best. Here's when the importance of self love comes into play. Instead of taking blame, say this to yourself: it's okay, it's all right. There will be more and more opportunities ahead. That way, you can finally develop into the greatest version of yourself. Now, let me briefly restate the main points here. You have the full power of controlling what is inside you, who you are as a human being, and how you want to be seen by the world. And in order to search for your true self, there are things you can do, which are being friends with yourself, reflecting repeatedly, and last but not least, loving yourself. If these can be put into practice, not only can you transform into better being, but other everyday problems such as comparing yourself to others will no longer be in your worry list. I sincerely hope that this can be an eye-opener into how you want to act to yourself in the future. I hope you can ask yourself questions and reflect, and I wish you can love yourself after that session. That's it from me. Thank you for your kind attention. God bless.
Thank you for the speech that you have given us today, Gabriel. Even though there's a bit of lag in the internet, you have given a really good speech. And yeah, it's like the internet is an unavoidable thing to get. Even I lagged out last time when I say the numbers that's going to be the where you're going to perform. So after this is going to be Miss Amanda Fiolina from St. John, right? Smak St. John harapan nila. Please.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible and clear?
Yes,
Yes, we
you're
can hear your voice clear.
Okay, I'll start now. Greetings to all the judges and audiences. My name is Amanda. I'm from St. John's Christian High School. And today I'll be delivering a speech about losing and finding your true self. To begin, I'd like to ask you a very simple question that you can answer within yourself. The question is, who are you? Now, some of you might answer with your name, your birth date, or your job title. But do you realize that this simple question can go so much deeper than that? Throughout our life, it's not arguable anymore that sometimes we tend to question ourselves. It strikes me that the most important question of a human's life is how we can find ourselves and how we can define values and meaning in our lives. According to one of the most influential philosophers, Friedrich Nietzsche, finding yourself is the most fundamental endeavor of your life. Nietzsche believes that every individual can shape their future by taking responsibility for who they are. Now, I'd like to tell you a little story about my own journey on finding my true self. This may not be an adventurous or a sob story, but I really hope that you can learn something out of it. So, since I started elementary school, I have always been an active straight-A student. It is safe to say that I was one of the top 5 students among the other 95 kids in my grade. Not to brag, but I never find it hard to ace any subjects. But then things went south when I started the second year of junior high. As usual, I was slacking off, binging TV series, hanging out with my friends, and underestimating every test I took. I did realize that my score went downhill and I started failing classes. But I have neither the motivation nor the urge to fix it because I was used to get things easily. At that time, I just thought that maybe my shining moment had passed its expiration date, or maybe I'm just another gifted burnout kid. This chapter of lazy, work shy, unmotivated self kept going for 3 years. Until one day, I was whining about how low my grades are. And then my mom said something that I could never forget and changed the way I see things. She said,
while you are laying on your bed with your Netflix on, going out with your friends, or playing online games, the people who beat you are working hard. They're studying and doing their assignments with a lot of effort. Everything comes with a price. That's when I know I had lost the reflection of who I was back then. I had no goals, zero aspirations. I'm not achieving anything. At that moment, I realized that I need to go back to the drawing board before it's too late. So I started paying more attention to my classes, being more active in the student concert organization, registering myself for non-academic classes, and even joining the speech competition. To be honest, it's not easy for me to start new habits and putting more effort into my daily life. But instead of whining and complaining, I try to embrace the difficulty of self-discovery. As what Nietzsche once said, no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. I'm not saying that I have succeeded on finding my true self, but at least I am now one step closer to it. And needless to say, I am very proud of who I am becoming. Now you might be asking, Amanda, how is your story relevant to this topic? Well, based on my story, I like to conclude that sometimes, in order to find your true self, you have to lose yourself first. You have to experience failure and mistakes. And maybe not once, not twice, but multiple times. Because every chapter of your life has its own sole purpose of creating who you are. Well, sometimes when you try to get out of your comfort zone, failure and mistakes are inevitable. But even if you don't get the outcome that you expected, you will gain new experiences. And it means you have conquered your own fear. So what are you so afraid of? Speak up, confess your feelings, join that program, make new friends, find your power. You don't need to have everything figured out right now, because finding yourself is a very long journey. But as long as you are willing to be a better individual and keep challenging yourself into a bigger world, you're pretty much on the right path of finding you. Now, before I end the speech, I'd like to tell you about one theory from my favorite movie, Big Fish. This theory is called the goldfish theory. It is somehow believed that if you put a goldfish in a small tank, it will stop growing and eventually die as a small fish. But if you put them in a bigger tank, they will grow to suit the size of its tank. I believe that we can relate this theory to the life of a human, where if one keeping himself in a small circle, he will remain small, unknown, and invisible. But if he is opening up to new chances and bigger challenges, he may not just find his true self, but also the best version of himself. At last, I want to remind you to not be afraid of making mistakes and experiencing failure. Because after all, those are the things that shape you. Those are the things that help you to answer the question, who are you? Finally, that's all for my speech. I hope you enjoyed and learned new things from it. Thank you.
Michelle? Yeah, it's all right. Okay then. For the fourth participants, thank you for this. By the way, thank you for the speech, Amanda. You did really well on the speech. You have given us an insight for your backstory, and probably some person here will relate to that. So
For the fourth participant will be Greta Jeniska Kristianto Kartadinata from SMAK Nabur Cirebon. Please welcome Greta.
Hello, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear your voice clearly. Thank you.
Okay. Let me start this speech by asking you one question. What is your own true self? Now, some of you may see your own true self as an identity found when you can feel the utmost happy, fulfilled, and comfortable with your life. And as a teenager, I am currently going on through that phase where I'm constantly searching for my own true self. Greetings, everyone. My name is Greta Jeniska, currently a 12th grader at SMAC Penabur Cirebon. Have you ever got into 12th grade? Well, I do. And it seems very interesting. As you're entering 12th grade, there are 3 types of people you could easily recognize during this busy schedule. First, there are kids who look like they're in a hurry all the time. Every time you look at them, they're studying. Take another look. They make new experiments, reading new books, doing tests. It seems like they have so much things going on their head. There are also the excellent kids. Kids that looks as if they can manage all their time in doing anything. They look so relaxed every time, as if they didn't really have any problem to deal with. They attend parties, friend meetings, and yet they still ace each of their exams. It's like they have this wand that magically solves all their assignments, turn their grades into A+. Well, that is me when I was a child, around 5 to 7 years old. My mother told me I am one of the smartest and most diligent child in my school. I mean, obviously not. I'm a child. What can I possibly do besides doing my elementary school homework and play every day? But as time went by, I become lazier and more burdened by all the assignments given by my teacher. Then I become the I don't care about time kind of student. I'm so lazy. It's hard for me to stop reading unnecessary stuff like comics, novels. Don't even ask how many hours have I spent on comics. I spent majority of my time reading stories about how the character falls in love, how they're getting betrayed, and much more. I became addicted to the storyline and even neglect my assignments like it's nothing. It's not even something I can be proud about. When I came into my senses on the last minute, I made all the assignments. I even made a 10-hour experiment report in 1.5 hours. You can guess how the results go. Definitely not my best. However, I stick with that method for the rest of my middle school year. My end-year report was devastating to look. I cried to my sleep because of my bad grades. Tons of people were talking how I went down from being the first place in my whole school to become the normal average student with minimum grades. From there, I realized time is very hard to control. My parents didn't scold me about my grades, which is a good thing, but my heart felt hurt. I know I can do better. It's just my time management. So then, being the curious kid that I am, I spent some hours searching on the web about how I became the better version of myself. And after 2 hours of searching, I found a conclusion. I need to know what I'm aiming for, and by writing that down right in front of my face, I know my purpose to wake up every day. I also make a timetable and stick to it. Then I do that trial for a few days. If you're asking me, does it work? Well, it works wonderfully. However, I find myself not enjoying things that I've done. I feel like a robot. I have to do this in this certain time. I'm bored and empty. Tons of events come by every day. It's hectic, and my schedule changes. Then I become confused. My goal becomes further and further postponed. And after 1 week, I stop making timetable. I sit back and going on to my laziness for a few more days. Days went by reading tons and tons of comics, novels, articles, you name it. On the third day of my laziness, I came across a passage which tells me, when you enjoy the process, your goal becomes a milestone, not a finish line. So then I get confused. How am I supposed to get the results that I wanted if I don't try to dream about it every day and work hard for it? But then as I went through more depth about what I read, I found something interesting. Only do what you love and only pursue what feels like you. So then I found this valuable thing. Life is not about how you finish so many things over and over. Reaching your goals is definitely very important, and no one can deny that. Whatever you do, if you don't enjoy the process, what are you working hard for? If you like the process, you can get through anything, even though it takes a long time and even though it's hard. If you enjoy it with all your heart and still be your own self, you can thrive to be the best just like the excellent kids. I can't guarantee every work you put on is good results is going to come by. But process teaches us things we need. And you have to remember, result is an additional price. Life is about learning, experimenting how you can be your own true self. So enjoy every moment possible.
Okay, thank you, Greta. I love the way you did your speech. You gave good energy and good expression too. By the way, you use a virtual background, like a video virtual background. Can we see it like it's good?
Yes, I did use a virtual background for this.
Wow, marvelous. Amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, so for the last participant will be Tabita Anya from SMAK Paledang Bogor. Please welcome Tabita Anya.
What is
hello?
the meaning of life?
Sorry,
People from
Tabita Anya.
yes.
Your connection is good or unstable? Oh, okay. You can go now. You can go now. Thank you, Tabita.
What is the meaning of life? People from all across the ages have been asking the same thing, and almost all of them arrived at the same conclusion. To be happy. Being happy can only be accomplished by discovering ourselves. But how does one discover oneself? That is a question that is perhaps even harder to answer, leaving us nowhere. But why is it that we need to find ourselves anyway? Good afternoon, the honorable judges, talented participants, and everyone else who might be watching this. My name is Tabita Anya from Bepikap Nambur Bogor Senior High School, and today I will be taking you on a journey to find a lost reflection in the search of our true selves. When we feel the need to find ourselves, that indicates that something was lost to begin with, right? But what could be the reason for us to conclude that I am lost? Well, to answer that, feeling out of touch or feeling lost, as they put it, can happen when we fall into the ideas of what we're supposed to be doing or should be doing. When we find ourselves trying to measure up to the fantasy given, be it by a relative, friends, society, or even ourselves, and end up coming short, tell certainly land a hit to us. Basing ourselves out of the expectation of others is a path that'll surely lead to destruction. Everything becomes a competition in trying to prove our self-worth to others. We are constantly chasing for a false perception of ourselves instead of letting our authentic self show. Now, I want to bring an example from a game I have well delved myself into, Genshin Impact. In the recent story quest, we are encountered by 3 people who recently got their vision, which is a tool that allows them to wield elemental powers, stripped away. In one way or another, these 3 people have one thing in common. They're never the same as they used to be. The game explains it as a result of losing their vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition. When we lose our ambition, we forgot our past. We become clueless of what we're supposed to be doing in the present, and we lose sight of what we want to do in the future. Even though the vision here is a mere analogy, that's what losing yourself is like in real life. When we lose in touch with ourselves, we lose in touch with every part of ourselves. This happens because they've been holding on to something that defines them for so long. To them, it's their identity. When that thing is gone, they'll have nothing that makes them who they are anymore. This is the danger of expectations, be it shoved upon others or demanded upon by ourselves. Ambition is a double-edged sword. If it goes right, then we will be launched into greatness. But when it fails, we will be plunged into the pit of darkness. So I don't think it's fair for us to place such high expectations upon ourselves. Even if we're not in the place we want ourselves to be, we sure made some developments along the way, right? The things we did right and the mistakes we made, they all paved a way for us to explore ourselves even more. I believe that we are constantly discovering and perfecting who we are based on this current version of ourselves. Every version of us is a draft that's used to fulfill its sole purpose at the time. Like, as a kid, I was often praised for my academic achievements. Being called a gifted kid gave me a sense of belonging. I thought that was who I am. That was part of my identity. But when I grew up, I found out that that part of me wasn't permanent. I thought I lost myself as I start to crave academic validation just to feel worthy. Now I realized that's not who I am. My old self might have been someone who thrives from achievements, but after everything, this is who I currently am. A girl who tries hard just to get the bare minimum. A girl who gives too much. She loves speeches because to her it's a medium to inspire others and even herself. There's no use of putting these to the shame as they both played a major role in my life. And who's to say that I'll still be like this in the future? Our character is not constant. Our beliefs, values, inclinations, sense of humor, they're all constantly changing and developing. Arguably, that's the most dynamic part of our self-identity. Upon trying to find ourselves, we need to keep an open mind and an open heart. Maybe we should focus less on the journey ahead of us and focus more on the bright options around us. Losing yourself is scary. I know. It's not meant to be easy either, but it's a necessary step in order to live our life to the fullest. Selena Gomez was right when she said, I needed to lose you to find me. Through all the hardships, we are given a new perspective on how we want to live the rest of our lives. Maybe it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey and creating yourself along the way. I hope this speech can inspire everyone who's struggling with their self-identity and be authentic to ourselves. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Tabitha Anya. I love the way you did the speech. You were really like getting into the condition. Thank you very much, Tabitanya. And wow, everyone, we just finished the final round. You guys were so amazing. You all were delivering this speech very well, really well. Good expression, good script. And lastly, you win or not is not a problem because the most important thing you've struggled until this final round is you have experienced something new. Final round is not easy because you have to deliver the speech directly through the Zoom meeting, right? And it might be more nervous for you all. You guys were so amazing.
Yes, you're right, Michelle. Thank you. We are so proud of you all. By the way, if you want to know the winners of this year's Excelsior speech competition, so the top 3 for both the junior high and senior high, don't forget to come to our closing at the 16th of October 2021, and we'll announce the winner there.
Yes, we also have 2 notorious guest stars. There are Kunto Aji and Dovi de La Paz, the one who made the battles of presidency in 2019. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it because it was the most epic battle video I've ever seen. But I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. And who doesn't know Kunto Aji, right? His songs are so popular these days. I'm pretty sure you guys know Kunto Aji.
Yes, so everyone, don't forget to come to our closing at 16th of October 2021. And yeah, I think we're all finished for today. And for the finishing, we would like to close it in prayer. So again, I want to ask Sir Ramses to lead us in prayer before we end this meeting.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Okay, we close this competition and let's invite the Lord to bless us. Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for the beautiful time you give us to compare. Please teach every single of us to find our true self. So this competition can lead us to be better person. Not only just to compete every single of day abilities, but to teach us for the new day, for the new life in a better one. Please bless everybody from the judges to give them wisdom, to give for every single performance today, give their best. And also all committees, participants, everybody involved in this competition. Here we are, Lord, come to you. Please bless our next activities, our life, so we can glorify your name. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we have prayed. Amen. Michelle and Danny.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ramses. So everyone, thank you for participating in this year's speech competition. Sorry if there were some wrong words or unexpected things. Lastly, good luck to every each of you. Thank you very much. But before that, can you guys open your camera first because we want to take a picture, okay, for documentation. Yeah, we would like to see your faces, of course, guys. So please open your camera. Yes, Miracuela, Novena, Greta, Amanda, Tabitha. Okay. Novena, are you there? Okay, thank you, Novena. Okay, who will take the documentation?
Okay, I will take the documentation. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Before that, Excelsior has its own merchandise. There are tote bag, and then t-shirts, and also mask. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so
if you want to buy it, go to
yeah,
the website. You can contact it there.
Committee can share screen the product so everyone could see it. Technicity, can you share screen the product. Okay, that's our sponsor, guys. Yeah, Antisep. Don't forget to use Antisep.
Theo, tolong dikasih mood saya.
Beda dari deterjen biasa. Wingscare, inovasi baru, so clean anti-sep.
Oke.
Yes, there are our Excelsior's merchandise. Yeah, so the price obviously affordable, so you can purchase them. Yeah, there in the web that Joanna has put it in the chat room. So yeah, if you're interested, just go to the web.
Okay, thank you guys. If anyone of you is ready to leave, you can leave now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, and please, if you want to come to the closing and to see who's going to win, please come. And yeah, thank you.
Jangan lupa beli tiket closing teman-teman di website Excelsior ya.